guts for Director Comey to make the move that he made in light of the kind of opposition he had, where they're trying to protect her from criminal prosecution.
That was Donald Trump in October praising FBI Director James Comey for reopening the investigation into Secretary Hillary Clinton's emails in days before the election. Yesterday, Donald Trump fired the same guy. Why? Using the mishandling of the Clinton email investigation. Comey was into the fourth year, was traditionally a 10-year term as FBI director. This is how he learned about his firing. He was speaking to FBI agents in Los Angeles. As he was speaking, a television behind him announced the firing of Comey. He initially thought it was a prank. His staff scurried. They began to say, no, we need you to step into a side office. He makes a call, confirms he is fired. Trump had his personal bodyguard, who is now on the staff of the White House, deliver the letter to the FBI headquarters. But Comey wasn't there. First he was in Florida, then he was in LA. This is what the letter says. Dear Director Comey, I have received the attached letter from the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General of the United States recommending your dismissal as the Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I've accepted their recommendation and you are hereby terminated and removed from office effectively immediately. While I greatly appreciate you informing me on 3 separate occasions that I am not under investigation, I nevertheless concur with the judgment of the Department of Justice that you are not able to effectively lead the Bureau. It is essential that we find new leadership for the FBI that restores public trust and confidence in its vital law enforcement mission. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's recommendation letter reads in part, I cannot defend the director's handling of the conclusion of the investigation of Secretary Clinton's emails. I do not understand his refusal to accept the nearly universal judgment that he was mistaken. Almost everyone agrees that the director made serious mistakes. It is one of the few issues that unites people of diverse perspectives. Now, folks, check this out. Rosenstein only got there 2 weeks ago. There also is an Inspector General's report investigating Comey's actions. The question is, why did Donald Trump pull the trigger now? Why did he fire Comey one day after he was eviscerated by Sallie Yates in her testimony before Congress? The firing also comes 2 days before Comey is set to testify before the Senate Intelligence Committee about the Russian investigation. This also follows, folks, where Comey essentially said on Friday that a grand jury is actually has been convened to investigate Mike Flynn. CNN reported last night that subpoenas have been issued to associates around Mike Flynn. Let's go to New Jersey. Congresswoman joining us right now, Congresswoman Bonnie Coleman, who joins us right now. Also, we have our panel here. I'll get to them in just a second. Of course, Bonnie Watson Coleman is the vice-ranking member of the House Committee on Homeland Security and the member of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Congresswoman, it has to be stunning to you to hear this news, and literally the president hasn't been seen or heard in 5 days, issues this, does not come out to address the nation. We have not seen the firing of an FBI director since President Bill Clinton did so, and that was all about abuse of office.
So thanks for having me, first of all, but let me just say that I don't even know where to begin here. But at the core of all this is a dismantling of any checks and balances to what is an administration that has all kinds of irregularities, all kinds of ethical challenges, that continues to line their pockets with money as a result of this presidency. So all that we're seeing is this presidency trying to shut down every avenue of checks and balances. So what has he done? He fired Sallie, he fired Comey, he speaks poorly of the Fourth Estate, holding him accountable. He speaks poorly of the judiciary at the same time. he's trying to make his appointments. He fired all of the U.S. attorneys. He's put cronies upon cronies into very sensitive positions. And now you take an individual who supposedly had this really great reputation, who comes on the job 2 weeks and makes a determination that the FBI director needs to be fired because of how poorly he performed on the Hillary Clinton issues. Well, I'm not a fan of Comey, but I think what I do believe is that A, it was terrible the way the president did this. B, I have no reason to believe that even though I don't agree with the way Comey handled certain things, that he wasn't doing an independent investigation. And C, I just think that this is the way that Donald Trump tries to deflect attention away from the fact that his is a corrupt administration. He is at the center of that corruption, and that we, the American people, need to have answers. And you know what hurts me more than anything is the cowardness in the Congress not to call him and make him accountable. We are almost the last feet standing here, and we better damn well do our job.
You've already seen some senators, Republican senators, say they are bothered by this decision. You also have Congressman Justin Amash, who is a Republican, who also said it is time to look into the possibility of a special prosecutor. Do you believe that this is going to increase the calls for an independent prosecutor to examine Donald Trump and his Russian ties?
First of all, I think we need an independent commission to do this. We need to take this as far away as possible from this administration and even Congress, number one. Number two, I think that if the people in this country rise up the way they've been rising up around other issues and put the pressure on Congress members to do their jobs, then yes, something is going to happen. But if we sit back and we depend upon somebody else to do it for us, and Congress isn't pressured to do its job, I'm afraid that this president will continue to get away with what is the most embarrassing and disgusting display and demeaning of a presidency we have ever encountered. You know, we're moving from a democracy to an oligarchy. We're eliminating all the checks and balances. We're allowing him to eliminate all the checks and balances. People have got to understand how dangerous that is.
All right, Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman, we appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
Joining us right now, Shermichael Singleton, political analyst, Republican political consultant. Singleton Strategy is somebody also familiar with having to get fired by the Trump administration when he worked at HUD. So I'm sure you have some insight into this. Greg Carr, chair of the Department of Afro-American Studies at Howard University. Spencer Overton, president of the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies. I'll start with you, Shermichael. This is a president who routinely praised James Comey for the thing he's firing him for. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who also approved this, praised James Comey for his conduct with the Hillary Clinton emails. Are you buying this crap?
No, I'm not. I mean, I think the president clearly has the right to fire FBI Director Comey. That is his right as president. I think by and large, Republicans and Democrats would agree that the way Comey handled the Hillary Clinton situation was wrong. But I think to fire him at this moment, when he's investigating the president, ethically does not appear to be right. It doesn't smell right for a lot of people. And I think on the outside, people looking in are bothered by this, and it's going to raise a lot of questions on whether or not there really is something that the administration is trying to hide. Because if there isn't, why do you need to fire him? Remember, Sessions recused himself. So why is Sessions supposedly recused himself? Why is he now writing a letter saying this guy should be fired? Again, if there's an independent investigation occurring on associates tied to the president, remember with Nixon, there was an investigation going on with people close to the president. He started removing people who was looking into this. Right. Well, a lot of folks historically look back at this role and they're beginning to wonder, why are you firing all of these people if you don't have anything to hide? Why? Unless you actually do have something to hide. And I think if the administration wants to be smart about this, they should be transparent and they should be open. But history thus far has taught us that that's not going to be the case.
Well, and not only that, Greg, to have Trump cite in the letter, oh, you told me 3 times, I'm not an investigation. What the hell does that have to do with it?
Well, I mean, it's like a child trying to get out from something. You told me that I didn't do it. I mean, we know what this is. Trump can't spell lie. Trump can't spell truth. The only word Trump can spell is Trump. He's trying to save himself. Make no mistake, this is entirely about the Russian investigation. I mean, Rosenstein has been there, what? Rosenstein's been there, what, 2 weeks, as you said. This is nothing. And Jeff Sessions did not recuse himself. He intervened immediately. He did this immediately. He sends his bodyguard over there. The bottom line is this. This Congress, and you heard it this morning with the Congresswoman, this Congress has to now convene some kind of joint commission. This can't even be turned over to a special prosecutor because Sessions is not going to remove himself. Donald Trump's trying to save his skin, and he's going down. We can say that.
And a big theme here, big issue, is the independence of law enforcement and the importance of independent law enforcement. You know, one problem is Sessions is really close to the Trump administration, and the question is, can he really be independent? The FBI, Comey was independent from
Probably
the Trump folks here.
And that's what they didn't like.
Yeah, and that's what they didn't like.
Look, Donald Trump
That's right.
constantly praised Vladimir Putin. He loves what dictators do. And that's what you're seeing right here. Donald Trump cannot be trusted.
No.
And not only that, it is shameful. First, they've already decided they're not going to send Sean Spicer out to the media today. They're going to send out Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who just a few moments ago was straight lying on MSNBC. And this is one where you're the president, you love media, you must address the American people. You do not fire the director of the FBI who's leading an investigation and leave it up to your minions to go out and tell what happened.
Well, he doesn't have to.
He has an obligation, Roland, to your point, to the American people to tell them what's going on.
Why?
Well, because he's the president who's been investigated. You
There are
fired
no
the
rules,
FBI
Mike.
director,
There are no rules here.
and now we are expected to trust you to appoint somebody else to oversee an investigation into people around you.
There are
Come
no
on, Doc, it doesn't make any sense.
There are no rules here. What Donald Trump is doing is testing the fabric of the American Constitution, democracy. And I'm be very interested to see what Chuck Schumer is going to say today. Now that he's called all his people to come in. Now at this point, some Republicans are going to have to decide: are they going to go for the candy store, or are they going to be Americans? That is the clear, bright line choice.
And this gets into the institutional structure piece here, in the sense that, you know, is this going to be like a parliamentary system where you just follow the leader, right? Or is Congress a separate branch that's going to check the executive branch and engage in a real investigation that is not just, you know, a partisan bypass?
This has gone beyond politics, regardless of party. And I think it would behoove Republicans to do what's in the best interest of the American people, because I can
You're saying that as an American.
Exactly, but I can guarantee you, if this comes, if more comes out as far as Trump's associates, and even Trump
more
himself,
will come out.
Absolutely.
and Republicans have the appearance that they did absolutely nothing, this will be devastating for my party.
And here's the
that's
deal.
The reality.
And here's the deal. Donald Trump despised the fact that Sally Yates was getting all of the media attention after Monday.
Yes, those tweets.
And Donald Trump decides, all right, we're going to turn the channel. We're going to change the story.
That's right.
This is what he does.
That's what he does, Roland. That's
this is what he does.
That's
what he does.
He does, because he watches TV all day, and I guarantee you, he said, no, we're not going to have another 24 hours of me getting my butt kicked by Sally Yates. I'm going to take the news cycle back. I'm going to fire Comey.
So then the question becomes, in the United States of America, can this body politic tolerate an itinerant who basically is just doing whatever the hell he wants at any moment
This behavior thus far is antithetical to everything we believe as a country, and I have always believed and maintained
I don't think that's true.
This is not sustainable behavior.
No, it's not.
A peaceful protest turned deadly. 37-year-old black man was shot and killed by Baton Rouge police. His hands are in the air, and you still get shot by the cops.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
We're not going to let hate define us.
Race is a big part of this.
If truly all lives matter, then all lives need to matter equally.
What we require is action. What we require is accountability. We understand that black lives do matter, and we will keep focused on this issue.
NewsOne Now, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.